Alvin Lee here from WAB Lab. Welcome to WAB Lab Roads to Success. COVID-19 has caused 2 years of heartache and hardship to the global business nature. So the rest of us are already all disrupted for 2 years, and now we have the Omicron variants that's coming throughout the world. So the purpose of this whole TV series is to highlight the quite neglected group called the SME owners. Why do we keep looking for the SME owners? Because we feel that the SME owners need a lot of help, because simply everybody else might be looked after, and the SME owners are here to share with us all the pains and plight and suffering for the whole duration of the 2 years. So we have here today Mr. Mark Abisheganaden, who is a SME business owner in the area of lab testing services of environmental simulator. I know that's quite a mouthful, but just imagine from disk drive to semiconductor to pharmaceutical and to medical products. And later on they talk a bit about peak performance for sports athletes and all that. But just to give you a feel, these are just machines in the industrial places down there. Can we give a hand to Mark? Mark, say hello.
Hi.
Okay, hi Mark. Thanks for coming down here.
Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah. Okay, so what we are really after here is to share a bit about what you have been doing before the COVID that comes. So just a bit about business of your company called QRA.
Thank you.
Okay, please.
Well, we are 18 years old already, so prior to the COVID, we were doing trading distribution of the environmental chambers, mainly to electronic companies in the region, Southeast Asia to speak of. And then we were also dabbling a little bit into the test services business, which was just starting we started about 5 years ago. So we had a small setup then, about 5 test chambers in our little office in Toh Guan East. So that was the period where COVID hit, and we were very, in fact, very shocked and taken aback at the intensity and how the government could actually impose lots of restrictions on doing business, going out, meeting people. So the whole dynamic of doing business took us by surprise. So really that was a big impact on us at the early 2020s.
Okay,
yeah.
So like everybody else, nobody is prepared lah.
That's right.
So, but if the COVID did not come, what would you have been doing?
We would probably have been continuing with our business and just try to expand into the region. Also try to find new markets for our existing products. So we were successful to actually even try with the existing test equipment to go into new markets such as athletics, sports test equipment.
Okay, that is quite a bit far off from disk drive and
That's
semiconductor where you came from lah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So now coming into the COVID itself, the first wave circuit breaker came in on March 2020.
Right. Yes.
2020.
Yeah.
So describe the first 3 months, 6 months. What was it like in your place?
So everything just went south. To be very frank, you didn't hear very much from customers. We had our little test business where we had a few machines going on for customers for about 6 months and 7 months. So our first most critical concern was to make sure that the machines are still running. And if we had to actually work from home, it would be a big issue. So fortunately, the government through the GovTech allowed companies to apply. You can get exemptions to go to your offices or to your labs to ensure your machines are running. So we got exemptions, I believe, once a week to go down to see the machines are okay. So that kept us going. Then to adapt into the work from home was also a big challenge. So that we felt also was something.
So how do you monitor remotely, and how do you control? Most of the machines were just left running on their own.
That's right. Very good question. Actually, we realized there was a blind spot we didn't take care of, because you have to be physically present. So I called upon a good friend of mine who was an excellent engineer. So we decided to do some research on our own. We used some sensors and thermocouple sensors coupled with a transducers, and using the cloud-based cloud we actually developed a cloud-based monitoring software package where we could actually pull the data from our equipment and then via the cloud download it in real time every 1 minute, 10 minutes, 30 minutes to see the status of our machine. So actually, to be very frank, I think that was a real, what shall I say, unexpected outcome. It turned out for the better because it's a good product for us. Then we know that the machines are working fine even from where we are now. So we helped develop a new product from this setback.
Okay, so if I hear correctly, for all of us to learn, COVID-19 was such an impact for all of us. Had it not happened, we would not be forced to do what we are supposed to do.
That's correct.
Let's say, for example, a long time ago, nobody want to work from home. So when COVID come, no choice. So nobody want to go digital, nobody want to go Zoom on training, so on and so forth. So here we hear from Mark that I call it the cloudification,
yes,
real time.
Yes.
So a lot of time we know it's something good. We always, yeah, it's good. So we push it later and later. So when COVID comes, no choice, and then just have to get up and go, and then not much choice left.
If I can add, actually, when faced with problems, I think you and I are engineers, ex-engineers, we have to find solutions, else we are gone. So we under pressure. Sometimes we really look within ourselves and think out of the box for solutions which we never thought if times are going smooth, frankly speaking. Yeah.
So COVID in a way forces us.
That's
so
right.
that you got no choice.
Yeah.
You just have to down tools and
exactly.
roll up the sleeve and then get it
so
going.
it brings out I would say it brings out the best. We hope the best in people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now talking about best, so during that period, share with the audience some of the hardship of what the SME owner might be.
Well, as you know, the business will go south for a lot of people. Fortunately, we had some people in the medical side who actually were ramping up, because I think that phase we had already made some inroads since 2018. So that helped us to bolster against the downside. A lot of the traditional people who are working from home didn't renew their service contracts because they were not used to working from home. So a lot of orders which we were expecting didn't come as quickly as we expected. So that was a bit of we went through a bit of times where I think the 3 to 6 months, first 6 months was a bit of a change how to work with the new normal, especially people working from home. You don't get things done as fast as possible. Everybody's in different locations, so getting the approvals to get the purchases out also is quite slow. That took us by surprise. So again, we had to bear the pain. It's really just have to bear the pain and think of better ways to serve your customers in this new normal. Yeah.
Okay, I just want to share 2 points which I hear from there. First, you were there with the medical people some years before.
That's correct.
It was not as if COVID come and then you start going to them or they start coming to you.
That's correct.
So the lessons for SME owners is you have to plant your seeds way ahead of time.
That's right.
Don't, when
Exactly.
you need things, then you start turning up down there. It's quite a strictly no. I
That's
mean,
correct.
maybe sometime it happened, but
That's correct.
that's the main thing. You have been serving them for a while.
That's
not
right.
much came out.
Yes.
Okay, then the second takeaway is assuming that we can do the digital transformation well, but it does not mean that our customers are up to specs as well.
That's right.
Because they got to get used, even people like me trying to find out where the Zoom button is, where is the order making things. So take a while, a lag to go from there. So things did not work out as smoothly as we think it will. So
if I can add also, I think this crisis actually forced me to also relook at my business and think how to do it differently. So knowing that I don't know everything, and I then started to look for places where they could actually educate me as to how. So I actually signed on this business and digital transformation actually by the ESG, and it's by SMU Academy, which was a 9-month course. In it, they actually gave us little programs to get used to how to actually first digitize, secondly digitalize, and then later on push it out into the much bigger marketplace using all the technologies available currently, which again, a lot of us business owners, we are so busy firefighting day to day, so you do not know that the sands have shifted there's a paradigm shift. A lot of ways of doing business, the old way is no longer relevant now. So when I went there, I had a major, it's like an aha moment. Wow, everybody who is successful is already doing it this way, and I'm still doing it the old way, which is in the engineering way. You call up the company and ask for the quality assurance manager. That went out the window 10 years ago, because nobody gives you the name of the QA manager or the QA engineer now. You can't even find. You call up, you will be talking to a voicemail. So the only way we learn how to do it, the new way, is to actually to push out content to address the pain points of our clients. So in this case, for the medical or for the electronic people, we give information, very technical information related to our sphere of expertise. Tell these are the pain points, and then give them solutions how to address the pain points, be it through buying machines, by testing, how to improve their quality and everything. This way down the line, the process may take a bit longer. However, if you build up enough base through your fish net, the clients will come inquiring through calling you, sending you emails and everything, and then that's how you actually build up the base. So I actually got really educated during this 9 months as to how to do business better in the new normal.
Yeah. Following up on that, Mark and I, about the same time, I attended a 6-month crash course as well.
Yeah.
That's how we share notes from there. So picking up from there as well, the few things that if you can just remember, the few words that keep popping out is, number one is the pain point, the pain processes and pushing it through. This program is exactly that. We are picking up the pain points of what a SME owner are facing, and during at which pace from there, and we are trying to push it out in the front to let everybody know, so that all of us can focus on the pain points and what exactly are we trying to solve.
That's right.
Yeah. Talking about pain points, cash flow during the 2 years. Share.
It's never easy, okay, because we are the forgotten children. So obviously, when you go through business, they want to look at, what are your financial reports, how's your customer base, what are your new orders, and obviously with COVID and all that, I think a lot of times, I think the financial institutions normally, once they look through that, they say, oh, you're not getting much sales, oh, this and that, everything is all stopping. They would hesitate to lend you funds. So cash flow is very crucial. Fortunately, I had backers, and they helped us with slightly higher interest rates, but we managed to pull through. So on top of that, use my own funds, and there's a bit from the financial institution. So cash flow is always important. Actually, two things you have to balance. It will fluctuate from time to time, cash flow and profitability. So you need to have a very fine balance of both. A lot of times, if you just go purely for the cash flow, no profit, I think in the end something is going to end up and your business will fail. So you need to have a balance. You need to sometimes assess, okay, if this is going to be a bit longer project, then make sure that the profitability is higher. Then in the end, you can cover for the longer time repayment time period. So you need to have a fine balance when assessing each project. So that together with a very experienced about how to manage the risks when you take on projects, because taking on projects can make or break a company. So really, most times we always have to assess many times before we're going to take a multi-million-dollar project or a simpler projects. Sometimes it's easier to do 10 simple projects than to take one big multi-million project, which I've learned through my own personal pain. It's not easy. So make sure that the business owner is able to take the risks when going for the bigger projects.
Cash flow, profitable, both are very key. So for all the wannabes thinking that all SME owners are out there having a good time, that's what you see. Here is what we are trying to show. It is not exactly fine and cut from there. So it's a big juggle things to come in from this side. Yep. So I also want to pick from there. It does not mean that you're going to get a lot of sales means anything.
That's
might be a nightmare to you.
That's correct.
Because you're unable to stomach them, you're unable to process them, you're unable to match dollars for dollars.
If I can give you my own company example, I actually remodeled it from one which was like high revenue, in our opinion, to something which was lower revenue but much higher profit. Because end of the day, bankers only want to see, they want to see big numbers so they can lend you, then they get fatter commissions. But Are they actually taking the interest of the entrepreneur at heart? We should relook at what's most important. For us, it is always the bottom line. So you take a deal maybe 10 times smaller, but the profit is maybe 3-4 times higher, and it's much easier to get. It's easier to roll on that than to do one big one, take all the loan, and in the end, my own experience again, I found out that I was actually working so hard for the people who lend me the money. So sometimes it'll be easier to do smaller projects, easier to collect the cash and roll than to do one big project and take funds, just to appear that you are taking big projects. So again, from the small guy's perspective, it's always, you have to always assess what's the risk versus benefit paradigm. Yeah.
Okay, so I hear, this is from the horse's mouth. The whole idea here is, it doesn't mean you get a big order and then you go and open champagne and all those things. Very practically, how much can stomach, how much you can process, and how much you can keep on going.
That's right.
Don't just look at the sales, because all the salespeople will tell you what wonderful sales record. That would be the worst nightmare, because somewhere behind, the salesman is not going to care about you.
Yes, or the banker.
Or the banks. So again, the reason why this TV series of Road to Success is really to show you the real, the raw, and the pure from there. So that these are things that the school in the professor will not teach you.
Right.
Okay, so that was a little bit, so the lowest point, share, that you wanted to give up, you wanted not sure, or was there anything that was quite difficult moments?
During the COVID?
During the COVID. We are all talking about during the COVID.
I would think that we are very fortunate. Thank God for that. We were very fortunate. Actually, I think COVID was actually a blessing for us. We did not have very many down periods. It was very busy period for us. So our orders kept on and still keeps on coming in. So I think maybe because we changed tech somehow. We remodel it than doing the old traditional way, but we expanded the base by, again, like I said, sending more content out, and then we did that continuously. So we had the base of testing business to go with, and that seemed to have expanded quite a lot already now. Like I mentioned, last year we had 5 machines. By early next year we will have 20 machines. So essentially the test business is if the customers keep on, the stickiness is there because month by month, day to day, we are in touch with them. So we have a growing business. It's not sexy in the sense that you're going to look at millions every month, but it is very, very stable, and it pays the bill. So we did not really have a low point per se, but I think the good thing was that really, again coming back to the cost, many business owners get trapped in a time warp. They think what used to work 20 years ago will work today. It's not. It's totally, I think that is the biggest mistake they can ever make, because it's a totally new way of doing business now in this, and especially with COVID, we are speaking to clients via Zoom. We're using every new so essentially everything has changed. Okay, everything has changed. So there's a lot more trust factor. We have to do equipment buyouts using WeChat, showing the customers through video, is this the way, or showing the manufacturer, is the way we're going to tune the machines and everything. So a lot of things, there's less person-to-person interaction. So we have to be very adaptable to all these ways of doing the business.
I get a feeling from lab testing services, it's not just selling machines.
No.
It is that trust, the quality assurance, that there's a long-term thing that is going on.
That's right.
So you are looking at a part of a portion of a place. It's not how many machines you sell. It's how long the relationship of trust to get the whole thing through.
Exactly. The trust factor is very, very important, because they first trial you out and see, okay, whether or not they're able to trust that your test is accurate, your reports are prompt, everything, you follow a certain standard which they expect, and then they will build it up from there on. From there on, after that, from that 1, 2, 3, 4 customers, then you develop a certain kind of expertise in the industry, and that's where I think now hopefully we are getting more from the medical people, and then they are sending us and they are asking us to calculate based on certain standards, how long should that test be. So we've reached a stage of a bit like a consultant. I've got a new client, I won't mention, but from a new startup. They want to test some of the medical products. So they were just giving us, okay, based on this acceleration factor, how many months and days should we test? So we actually have to compute based on certain formula and advise them. So we are working hand in hand with clients. It's not like, customer, vendor, hey, I want you to test this for so long. So they're coming to us as an info base because we have been pushing out content that we know what we are testing, and we are some kind of like a domain knowledge expert there. So I think that in itself has made us a bit different from the ordinary test house, so it's maybe a little bit like a specialized car workshop lah. For certain brands of equipment, or for certain brands of cars. So we are heading towards maybe some know-how in the medical field for environmental testing.
Okay, just for a layperson, by the way, I do not know about test services. It seems that don't be the generic guy, and by pushing out all the contents, that you are letting people know how wide and how deep the subject matter and the domain can be, so that you are now telling people that yes, you provide test services, but no, you must be able to feel the people you are dealing with are not exactly happy with all the short-term things. There's a lot more the intangible parts that come from there.
Correct.
And those have to be...
That has to be worked out closely with the customer at the very start, so that the expectations which they want from the beginning are met when we give them the actual samples back with the report. Yeah.
So from what I'm hearing from this conversation is a lot of close working relationship that you are just partners down there. And when you talk to testing people, no such thing as sure, not sure, this and that. You better get your system correct and earn the trust. Otherwise, no from there, because they have the answer. Okay, I think it's quite a lot now. Maybe just share a bit post-COVID. What are some of your ideas, some of your plans, or something you're looking forward to?
Okay, well, the test lab is just one aspect of it. We have our own brand of test equipment, which we are pursuing now. So again, we are promoting it worldwide, and we hope that there'll be people who want to partner with us in the form of distributors, agents, to help sell the brand. So currently we have sales in 10 countries, and we have offices in 3. But we're always on the lookout for other places. So I think we're at this stage where we really want to move into the international market, okay, primarily for our QRA brand. There's another area which I think has got tremendous amount of potential, would be the testing of human beings, which is very overlooked at this moment. So we have sold a couple to Sports Singapore and some to the Sports in Australia, as well as into Qatar. This area is very exciting because the scientists are using the test chambers to improve the performance of their elite athletes through oxygen control. And we have all this information at hand. We are working closely with the scientists. So I would say that if we can go into that area, would be really the long-term goal for us to be a really market player for the athletic test chamber. So that would be something which we would like to look forward to.
Yeah, peak performance for athletes.
Yes.
Peak performance for astronaut, underwater,
That's
mountains,
Yeah.
any extreme weather, any extreme climate, so on and so forth. The application is quite tremendous.
Yes.
Okay, maybe I'll just round up. Remember this name here, QRA. You hear it first time from WAB Lab Road to Success. This is Mr. Abisheganaden, and the whole idea here is we are trying to promote our own homegrown SME owners. We have been trying and doing a lot more things. So if any one of you out there who knows of people who want to pitch in and want to invest and want to learn more about what it takes in the test services, which is a lot more in the future, simply because when COVID-19 comes in, all the global supply chain are all going to be broken. You best have your lab services as near to your manufacturing or your HQ or your home ground as far as possible. Next, as he has mentioned, the digital transformation part. There are so many things to add onto it that you make it digitalized, digital, and then go from transformation. This is the part where it's still a very lots of potential to go from there. So if you know a lot about technology people, SME, startups, and whether it's 5 years, 10 years, somebody who is local who needs some help, please look at this website and then come and talk to us. We are from WAB Lab, Road to Success, and I'll see you again. Thank you, Mark, and
you,
really,
Alvin.
really grateful for that.
Thank you.
There we go. Everybody look for QRA.